Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk to you about what little actions you can take that lead to a big payoff, or what kind of micro wins can you have in order to lead to a macro win. So first of all, what is a macro win? Well, a macro win is something like, hitting a new rank, right? Or hitting multiple new ranks, maybe hitting a new income goal, quitting your job, making it to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures or 7 figures. Those are macro wins. A micro win is something like selling a product, right? Or showing a presentation to someone, or getting a campaign set up, or things like that. So if we know what the macro wins are, it's pretty easy to decipher what are the building blocks to get to the macro wins. So essentially what I think about is, if there's like a file cabinet dresser looking thing over here, if I want to build this from wood, I know what the end result looks like. What I need to do is pick this thing apart mentally and design each piece by itself and put it together. So the macro win is the completed cabinet. The micro win is the completed drawer. The micro win is the completed little knob that goes on the end of the drawer. So if you can disassemble your business into these micro wins, you can focus on the micro wins that lead to the macro win. Okay? So I'm going to break this down very simply for you and talk about this from like how I talk to my team. So the bottom line is you just need to focus on showing presentations. Now I'm going to leave out the actual tactics of showing presentations for this exact video because there's lots of videos on this channel, and I'll give you a link at the end of this to show you how we do it. But if you show roughly 2 presentations a day, or 2 plans a day, or 2 business presentations a day, so it's 10 to 15 a week. If you average 10 to 15 a week, you should become a top earner in 1 to 2 years. So you really just have to focus on, how do I get to 2 presentations a day averaged, or 10 to 15 a week? Because if I can do that, even if you're not very good, the numbers will work themselves out. So how do I get there, right? And then it's those micro wins. How do I get to 2 presentations a day that will lead to the 2 presentations a day that will eventually lead to your macro wins? So what creates 2 presentations a day? Well, number one, you could go the traditional route, the warm market route, right? You can go find prospects in some fashion and then show them the presentation. That's one way. The second way is following more of like a social media approach. The third way is doing what we do. We run advertising to create interest out there in the world that's automated and get people to come to us. So we're only talking to highly motivated, highly interested people. That's what we do. So in order to do that, you have to, of course, learn how to do online marketing and then set up proper campaigns. So the micro wins for you in that case would be learning online marketing. So, investing in a course either like ours or someone else's, investing in a course and learning. Those are micro wins. And then the next micro win is setting up your campaign. And the next micro win is launching it. And the next micro win is looking at it, because most likely it's going to fail the first time, and looking at it and being like, okay, this failed, and printing out the data and looking at the data, and sometimes getting someone else to look at the data and see like, hey, what kind of holes do you see here? And looking at it, like, okay, I have a hole in this area of the campaign. I should fix that hole. So then you work on it and you relaunch it again. Those are micro wins. So like today, for instance, or like last Saturday. So I'm shooting this on a Wednesday, and we're actually testing a brand new campaign. So we actually brought in a group of people to handle certain types of calls for one of our products that we sell. And we had to set up a new campaign for them. And because of the way that they work, they needed the calls booked in a certain way. So I had actually changed the campaign that we were running specifically for these people. And when I looked at it about 3 days later, we had spent maybe $350 in test advertising. And, we had basically got 1/3 of our normal results. So not nearly what they should be. And I was like, okay, I was obviously a little bit upset, right? Because I'm like, it's not working the way it should be. But I just looked at it I stepped back and I said, okay, how would I do this if I was my own coach? Well, first I'd print out all the data, or I'd bring it all on the screen. I'd look at it, and from an unbiased perspective, I'd be like, where is the hole? Like, okay, well, I looked at it all, and I'm like, okay, well, the hole is from here to here. So basically, the entire funnel worked perfectly up until they had to book the phone call with the person, with the strategist. So up until they had to book the phone call with the strategist, everything worked the exact same as our other funnel. But we had changed the booking process for them. So that was the problem, which I expected it to be if there was one. But I was like, okay, so why is it the problem? And I looked at the page and I realized, oh my gosh, I wrote a piece of copy that I basically, hacked from someone else running a similar type of funnel, but it wasn't really me. It's not really my personality. And I was like, that doesn't sound like me at all. So I removed that piece of copy and I took it out of there and I made it almost exactly what our other funnel looked like, aside from the changes they asked us to make, and I relaunched it. Now I haven't checked the results since then. I wanted to give it like $300, $400, $500 a test to really know. But my guess is when I go look at it later today, it's on my schedule. My guess when I look at it today, there's probably gonna be some increase is my hope. And if there's not, I'm gonna look at it again. But basically I know where the problem is. So if I adjust it and it gets a little better, that's a micro win. And if I do enough of those micro wins, get those micro adjustments, the macro thing will work. Make sense? So, by the way, in case you're into advertising and you're like, holy crap, you're spending like $100 a day on a test, we've worked up to that. Okay, so you don't have to worry, like if you're running advertising for MLM, you don't have to spend $100 a day initially. We spent a lot more than that, but I started off spending $2.50 a day, $5 a day. So don't worry, you can start off small. I just wanted to cover that in case some of you were like, holy crap. Now, again, the micro win is really 2 presentations a day. That's what you're shooting for to get enough activity flowing to lead to your macro win, okay? You focus on the things that it takes to get there, you should be pretty set. Now, in case you're wondering, well, how exactly do I get people to come to me? Because most people have a prospecting problem. Most people actually don't have a sponsoring problem, they have a prospecting problem. So if I gave you 1,000 applicants that wanted to talk with you specifically about your business, my guess is you could probably sponsor at least 1% of them. You could sponsor 10 people because that's a lay down number, right? 1%. So that being the case, you don't have a sponsoring issue, you have a prospecting issue. So if you're wondering, how do I get that many prospects to come to me and be interested in my business? Well, now you have a marketing issue. So if you want to learn how we solve that issue for ourselves, go down to MLMRebelsBlueprint.com and you can learn exactly how we do that. It's a totally free download. You can learn exactly how we do it. It's MLMRebelsBlueprint.com. And if you want to join the private discussion group where we talk about this kind of stuff, go to MLMSalesFunnels.com, subscribe to this channel, and see all the other videos where we talk about this. If you found value, do me a favor, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and we'd love to hear what you were thinking. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day, and talk to y'all soon.